CU-15-0056. At this time, the board took no reportable action. In regards to agenda item number 4, the board met and conferred with legal counsel regarding existing litigation pursuant to subdivision A and D1 of section 54956.9. The case involved was Award Homes, Inc. versus the County of San Benito, City of Hollister et al., filed in the Superior Court of California in the County of San Benito under case number CU-15-0099. At this time, the board took no reportable action. In regards to agenda item number 5, the board met and conferred with legal counsel regarding existing litigation pursuant to subdivisions A and D1 of section 54956.9. The case involved is BMC Promise Way, LLC, doing business as Benchmark Communities versus the County of San Benito and the City of Hollister, filed in the Superior Court of California in the County of San Benito under cause number CU-15-00056. At this time, the board took no reportable action. And finally, agenda item number 7, the board met and conferred in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957 regarding a public employee discipline/dismissal/release. At this time, the board, on a 4-0 vote, approved the disability retirement of a deputy in our sheriff's office. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Counsel. So now, going back to the regular agenda, item number 25, Mr. Barnes.
Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, good afternoon. I'm going to be working from one page in the staff report that I think summarizes the issues here. It's a landscape format page called EMC Planning Contract Analysis. I'd be happy to be interrupted with questions or comments at any time. So just a little bit of background. This is about the general plan update contract. The general plan was finished last year. EMC wrote to us, well, no, let me be half a step back. The contract was for $200,000. The board authorized the planning director a 10% contingency, so an overall approved budget of $220,000. EMC has been paid. And there's another exhibit in your packet that's not titled. It says Set 1 and Set 2 at the top. But they've been paid $207,000 and a little bit more, leaving a balance authorized on the contract of almost $13,000, $12,981.04. EMC alleged that they had done some additional work beyond the $207,000 that they were paid, and so they asked us to do some research on that. And we've turned up some evidence that they were indeed authorized to do some additional work. On this horizontal sheet, the contract analysis sheet, those are lines I, J, K, L, and L, detailed on the left side. And we researched various kinds of records, board meetings, minutes from staff meetings, emails, and so on, and found evidence that about $24,000 of additional work had been verbally or in writing authorized, which brings the total that, quote, should, end quote, be paid to them to about $11,000 over the $220,000 contract. So in other words, about $231,000. EMC is alleging that, well, two things. Very specifically, that they are owed an additional $5,000 for two other specific items, O and P, on this sheet. We can find no evidence that those were actually authorized. Mr. Groves was going to be here today and try and refresh the board's memory with some additional comments. Unfortunately, he's out of town at another meeting and is not able to be here. EMC also alleged that there's another about $6,000 or $7,000 in costs that they have not documented that they wish to be paid. Our recommendation to you is that because we've found evidence that various staff members and on the public record, there was some authorization for about $11,000, $10,918.96 to be exact, that the board authorized the payment to the contract limit plus that $10,918.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question right there.
Supervisor Botelho?
Brent, you sign a contract for $220,000. Say you're the consultant.
Yep.
And now I've approached that limit, and now I'm going beyond. If you were the consultant, wouldn't you have said, "Hey, wait a second, time out here. This is a cost you more." Did they ever come forward to the planning department or to staff saying that we're going beyond our limit? Because this is not the first amendment to this contract.
I don't know specifically about that, but for the record, I was not here as a part of any of this.
And it's tough for you because you weren't here.
Once again, I'm the messenger, but that's okay.
Yeah, because I certainly approved the original contract. I sat here thinking that EMC was delivered the end product. They agreed to the price. It's like anything you buy. We bought the general plan for $220,000, and that's not the first amendment. It came with a few other delays, and so I'm having a hard time even justifying the $11,000 additional. Because he knew what he had to work with, and I wish he was here. I only had a chance to listen to a detailed message on my phone. And that was it. I never talked to him, but I'm not inclined.
Okay. Are there any other comments?
I have a comment, Mr.
Ms.
Chair.
Barrios?
And I agree with you that a contract is a contract, but I also remember very clearly that there were a lot of things after the contract, and we had him present every single month. Standing right there, he is a reputable consultant. I don't like to give money away. I don't believe that we should. But I do believe that if somebody does the job and does the work and gives us the product that we, at the end of the day, approved, that we need to be fair. We have given money away for lesser things. And this is somebody that, like I said, has a good reputation. I believe that if the work was done, that it should be paid for. Now, again, let me go back, that we would ask him to present to us on a regular basis, and he would remind us that that was going to take a little bit more work to get it done. And we went ahead and said, okay. Did it go on a contract? It did not. Did we change it? No, because we didn't want the general plan to be delayed any longer than it had already been. So that's my comment. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Barrios.
Mr. Chair.
Supervisor De La Cruz?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I too remember those conversations, and I too remember supervisors and even staff having side note conversation with them, and any time we will have an interaction with them, that clock will start ringing up, and we did discuss that the money will be dried up, but we got the product done. Let's move forward. I want to put an end to this chapter. Let's just move forward. I'm willing to work with my fellow supervisors if we can reach some type of a compromise, but I will not shy him away saying we're not going to give you anything just because you already met that contract. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Supervisor Muenzer?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brent, do we need his help to implement the general plan and all the things that go on?
We would be delighted to have his help. I will bring back to you on the 5th of April, to you and the Commission, a long list of action items from the general plan. It's perhaps 50 items that arise directly from the policies in the general plan. We don't have the bandwidth on staff to be able to address all of those in a timely manner, and so it's quite conceivable that we'll go out for consultant help on a variety of things.
Yeah, I can't I can't believe we would get another consultant to touch this one. After our history.
I have a question, Mr. Chair, if I could. If I don't want to.
Yeah, well, the only other comment I was going to make was I could support the 11,000. It looks like that was, agreed upon. You found evidence of that, so I'm good with 11,000.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, Supervisor Barrios, the only reason that, perhaps not the only reason, but the main reason that I did not go into trying to specifically support the other two was that we were not able to pin down, and no disrespect to the clerk, what board meeting these things were supposedly said at, and I was handed 18 tapes to listen to and said, here you go.
I know.
Figure it out. And so it was a needle in a haystack, and I simply ran out of time and energy to try and support those things.
Chairman, one of the things I have a problem with is that he used different models that we didn't authorize. He used some of his time to go off on the board made it specific that he used the AMBAG model. And then all of a sudden we were using some other model. And how much time and effort was that? That's where, the clock is always running, so to speak. It's easy to run the clock and be in a cab going around the block in an unfamiliar neighborhood. And that's what I feel that, we've been a part of. He is a good consultant, as reputable as they come, I guess, which,
Thank you, Matt. He said
it. And without, the detail of the billing. Do we get that detail? Well, I spent 20 minutes working on this particular portion of the project, and this is how much it costs, and like a lawyer would do a billing. Do we have that type of billing in detail rather than in summary form?
No, sir.
See, I'm sorry, I'm not supportive.
Yeah, and as far as my comments as well, I came into this saying, hey, I'd give him the 10,000, but my colleague here has convinced me otherwise, so I don't think I can support it either. So, any other questions? Yeah.
I do have some questions. Brent, did you say that you found where he had done $24,000 worth of additional work? Did
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hear you say that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if he did $24,000 of additional work, why are we not paying him for that?
Well, that is $10,918.96 above the contract limit. In other words, I'm authorized as the planning director to pay him up to $220, so I can do that, and that would get him $12,981.04. That's on line H.
Okay, well, I guess my point
I
is
can just do that
if we know,
administratively.
right, if
But
we
then-
know that he did an additional $24,000 worth of work to get the general plan completed,
Under our direction.
under our direction, then shouldn't we pay him for it?
We are. We're paying. Brent is able to pay him the 12,000. He's asking for authorization to pay him the extra 10,000.
11, yes.
to make
11
him
11,000.
whole
To make it whole.
per evidence.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Now, I believe, because I trust this consultant, I believe that he does have the detail that Supervisor Botelho is concerned about it, rightfully so. I believe he has it. I don't know for a fact, I wouldn't bet my life on it at this moment, but knowing how he works, if he has the detail, then, let's make him whole.
And do we have to make a decision today? I know he was here at our last meeting. Our last meeting ran on. Apparently he had to leave, couldn't stay for it.
Right,
We
exactly.
continued today, thinking he was going to be here. Can we just continue it for the first meeting in April, and hopefully he'll be here?
We could. That'd be the 12th.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that's helpful because I think Supervisor Botelho brought up a good point. It's like, if he's calling you on the phone saying, hey, I did this and that, but there's no evidence of it, it's like, where's the line item? Where's the,
The line item.
the time spent?
I certainly would, feel differently if I saw that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm there as well. It's one thing to pick up the phone and say, hey, I did this work on this stuff, but
Right.
it's not in the calculation, but it says AMBAG model and graphics, but there's no further approval found. It's like obviously there's something is missing. So we're not just here to throw money out the
Sure.
out the window. It's, especially money that was over the contract amount.
So, if I understand the sense of the board, am I looking to have EMC supply additional documentation on lines O and P, or
Yeah.
yes?
I think it'd be helpful to have Michael here just to answer
Yes,
some of
absolutely.
our questions. I think that's the most important thing. Wouldn't everyone agree?
Yeah, and the detail, I think
And
it's
more
important.
detail is obviously important.
There has to be detail. It can't be that hard because he submitted a bill. He came up with
Exactly.
the figure.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And so at this time, I'll open it up to members of the public for comment. See none, I'll bring it back to the board. So I guess if it's the direction of the board, if it's okay, we'll just go ahead and move this item. We'll coordinate with Michael, make sure he can, he can be here possibly at our next meeting, if not a future meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
So at this time, I will accept a motion for adjournment, but we are going to adjourn in memory of somebody. I want to turn it over to Supervisor De La Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to adjourn in memory of my father-in-law, Jesus Villarreal. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I
Second.
second that motion.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So Angie's,
Huh?
I know Angie's got to be hurting.
Oh, yeah.
I hope she's going to be okay.